This has to be BMW's biggest fail. I honestly can't think of anything they've ever designed for their cars that is as bad as this material that they use throughout the interior of a lot of their models. Like, what is this? It is so bad. I wasn't even gonna make a video on this until I uploaded a reel and a video on TikTok that showed my son sitting in this very seat right here. I was driving, I guess he was holding on to it pretty tight. By the time I took him out, he had black hands. It was impossible to remove that material from his skin. What is this? This is definitely BMW's biggest fail. Here's the opposite side. It's even worse, because at least the other one, it was just the inside. But this one also, the outside is starting to melt away like it's glue or something. The texture that was once on the surface is no longer there. And just look how dirty my hand is getting. If you touch a handle like this without gloves, good luck trying to remove that from your hand. It's almost impossible unless you use gasoline or brake cleaner. And BMW being a premium brand, this shouldn't be like that. So imagine a passenger going in your car, you don't warn them about this, and they just grasp the handle as hard as they can. This is what their hand is gonna look like. This is so bad. I know a lot of their newer models, I think they've addressed this and they're not using their like proprietary plasti dip. But for earlier models, even up to like 2015, 2016 cars, they're affected. M5, 335, 340, M3s, M4s. Obviously, if it's a low mileage car, you're probably not as affected. If you garage keep your car, it's very unlikely. But if your car sits outside, say you live in Florida, the car just has high mileage, this is gonna happen to you. Luckily, there's a way to fix it for very cheap, and it only takes about 30 minutes of your time. If you guys own an E90 or E91, this is all you're gonna need to address that situation. So you get the cover and the inside portion of the handle for 3 different doors, obviously because the driver's side is slightly different. You have this instead of the actual handle, which by the way is also coated in that weird soft touch material. Luckily for me, mine is not going bad yet because I replaced it not too long ago with a lightly used door panel. So it only really serves for the passenger side and the 2 rear side doors. And obviously if you own an E92 or E93, then you only really need one, which is for the passenger side. I don't think it's the same exact ones, but you only have to buy one anyways, and I'm sure they sell those out there. Here's what I'm gonna do to make it easier for you guys so you're not looking all over the place for the right parts. I'll link the E90 and E91 kit down in the video's description. Less than $30, guys, no brainer. I'll link the one for the E92 and E93 as well. Word of advice, when I make these type of videos, products like this tend to sell out, so act quick and use the link if you can. It really does help us support the channel at no additional cost to you if you guys use my affiliate link. This is a really cool kit because 1, it's cheap, like I mentioned, because of course China, but it's soft touch material. Apparently these are not supposed to fail like the OEM ones. And if you look at the covers, I mean, even the texture looks the same as the OEM ones, but they're not supposed to melt over time. So I don't know, I'll give these a shot, and I'll keep you guys updated. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'll definitely update you guys on there afterwards. But I have a few friends that are actually rocking this exact kit and they haven't failed them yet. So I think these are promising. These come with hardware, unlike the OEM ones that they're like plastic welded. There's like a rivet on the back of the door panel. These you just screw on, which should be very interesting to see if they hold up very well and if they're sturdy. Something I'm definitely gonna test out. All right, so removing the door panel on these cars is really not that bad. Very easy to do. You gotta remove the door handle cover, which is so bad. So I'll use this trim tool here to pry it, which is gonna be interesting because look, oh my God. How do you even remove it when the whole damn thing is melted? All right, I'm gonna use a flathead. All right, let's see. And yeah, it's gonna be challenging. All right, I created an opening, so see if this works out. Normally, if your cover is not this melted, it's a lot easier to do. And that was not supposed to happen. There you go. So once you remove the cover, it exposes a T20 screw up top. You have a T20 screw here and one right here. All right, so now we just gotta unclip the door panel itself. Now that we have all the screws taken off. So you use a pry tool. In my case, look at that, I'm missing some clips, so this should be very easy for me. A little bit of pull pressure, and then you lift it over the lock up top. Should snap right out. And then you have this connector here for the window switch, which should just pull right out. And then you got one little plug right here that needs to be disconnected. That's it. You're done. All right, so here's what it looks like behind the door panel. This is what the door handle is attached to. You got these two rivets on the bottom side, and then you get the two up top. So we'll drill those out, and it should release the door handle, and then we'll install the new one. All right, so here are the little rivets that I drilled out. The drill bit size was 3/8. I feel like it was an adequate size to get these weak enough so you can pry them off with a flathead. You gotta be very careful though. Like, don't go full ham, because if you destroy these holes or make them too big, then you can't really install them with the hardware that's included. Same with this. This is plywood at the end of the day, so it can get damaged very easy, either with the flathead screwdriver or with the drill itself. So you wanna be very gentle. If it doesn't pry off after you drill it out, continue to drill it out with patience, and it should come out relatively easily. Side by side comparison, before, after. Like I said, very similar. If you look at the texture, it's very similar. Looks like OEM, just a lot cheaper. It should be a lot more durable too. Looks like the anchor points here are plastic versus the metal ones that the BMWs come with. And then on the opposite side, obviously we're going to use screws for this one instead of the plastic rivets. All right, so to install it is relatively simple, guys. Just line up the correct one right here. Then you'll flip it over and we'll use the screws to tighten it up. So once you tighten the screws hand tight, it should be it. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put the door panel back on. Same way you took it off, you put it on. All right, so now we're just gonna go ahead and clip on the cover, which is very simple to do. Line it up and it should snap into place. Ooh, that's nice. By the way, this trim actually goes last, so when I originally took things off, I was trying to pry this off first. It's supposed to be the trim first, then that, because the trim holds this bottom section together so it stays in place. Let me give you guys a closer look at the fitment. Here you go. It's pretty good. Not entirely sure what OEM looks like because I've never really had one of these BMWs where this looks perfect, but I think it's pretty good. $24, $25 for the kit. It's not bad at all. Yeah, it is. Even with the screws, it doesn't use the rivets. Yeah, it's tight. No creaking, no cracking. It's pretty sturdy. Will it hold up over time, or would you have to take off the door panel to keep retightening them? It's not like somebody's always pulling on these 24/7, so I think it should be fine. Here's the fitment from the bottom here. Man, you can't beat it. Soft touch material on the inside. We'll see if that lasts, but yeah, I like it. So I'm gonna do the opposite side rear off camera, and also the passenger door. I think the only real thing that changes with the passenger door is that you have more T20 screws because it's a longer trim. Other than that, it should be the same concept. So I'll do it off camera, and then I'll show you guys what everything looks like. So this is passenger side rear. Closer look, bro, look.
So put it in your hand, like this, and then try to throw it. Let's see if you can throw it.
Oh, it's not that sticky, I don't think. Open it. There it is. Listen, I know that this is widely covered on forums, old videos and stuff like that. But I was so surprised that once I uploaded those videos on Instagram and TikTok, half of you guys had no idea how to fix this. So I decided to make the video to help you guys out. This is just a disgrace. I don't know what the hell BMW was thinking. Don't do it with your bare hands, bro. I dare you. Just go like this. Somebody did make a really funny joke though. This is like the ultimate anti-theft tool, right? If they break into your car, they're leaving fingerprints everywhere on these. Here's an alternative option if you can't afford the 25 bucks for the kit. Yeah, just scrape it all off, which exposes the hard plastic underneath, and rock it that way.
Back in ancient days, this was the way to harvest for axle grease. So you just take an E90 door handle and then you just pack your axle with this grease right here. So that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
It just looks like a bunch of grease.
It's not even worth going through the trouble of removing all of that stuff. I mean, I guess if you just dump fuel into it or brake cleaner, maybe all of it comes off.
Let's test that theory right now. You need a lot.
Seems to be working, but you need a lot of paper towels. You'll spend $25 in brake cleaner and paper towels by the time you're finished with this, so might as well just go buy the kit.
So this is the proper way to do it. You just leave this.
Just leave the ends?
Yeah, because you're not gonna touch that anyway, so you just remove the stuff where you touch.
And leave the rest.
And you know, look, right here, imagine it's the door. You just go like this.
And you still got black on your hand. Here's what all three door handles look like. The rear ones were completely screwed up. The passenger front wasn't too bad because I recently replaced the door panel, which came with a lightly used door handle. I replaced it anyways because, I mean, why not? I already bought the entire kit. Here's what the passenger rear looks like. Nice and clean. Very nice, very smooth. And then here's what the passenger front looks like. Again, let me show you guys the fitment. It's pretty spot on, very smooth. Couldn't get the trim to sit very well because I broke some of the clips. Very common when you're pulling these out. But yeah, this is very good. Passengers should be a lot happier riding in the E90 now. Now for the final test. Let me see your hands. Wow, are we good?
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.